How you guys doing? Let me give you a quick blackjack tip of the day. Yesterday we talked about a little about double down. I told you about how to play the 12 hand. Today, just give you a little tip when you're playing blackjack for your happy birthday. This is your happy birthday anniversary tip for some of you who are retiring, heading off to Vegas or the casinos. When you play, your dealer deals you two cards when you're playing blackjack, and you have your two cards total 13, and you're facing different cards the dealer has. If the dealer has 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold on those cards if you have a 13. Otherwise, hit. And that's because I'll tell you on my other training program, because the dealer has a higher chance of busting. When you're facing the dealer has a 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, they have a higher chance of busting, because with the 2 or 13, 3 or 4, they'll have to try to get so many cards to get up to that total of 17 that they may bust. That's your blackjack tip of the day. Also, I know some of you are getting ready to vote. Well, it's gone. Unfortunately, have you thought what happens if things get worse? I don't know what Biden or Kamala Harris is going to be able to do about the economy. What can you do about COVID if businesses are shut down, or you're not letting people go out because they're not wearing their mask? You have students who are staying at home because you're afraid they're going to get sick. So Mary, the lunch lady, the security guard, the office staff all have to stay home. What do you think that's going to do to the economy? And how are you going to jumpstart it? Are you going to allow the people come back, or are you going to go through with your party's agenda? COVID's bad. COVID's bad. So now we're going to find out what the rubber hits the road when they go back now. I'm in California, and mysteriously, 15,000 people can go to events all of a sudden. Makes you wonder, hey, if this economy turns up, if the Democrats win and they get into power, and I don't have any jobs or things for people to do, we may be out of power in 2 years. So it may be a 4-year election year for the president, but it's a 2-year, probably almost a year and a half for the new people coming into Congress. So this session coming up, a bunch of people are going to get voted out. And then in under 2 years, a lot of senators and representatives will be voted out again. So that's why all of a sudden you're going to see a lot of party pandering about who can do this and who can do that. But I'm thinking, I know the Democrats aren't going to be anything. So what are they going to do? They're going to have some type of social agenda. That's the only way they can justify being in power. Just start changing all kind of laws and making everything everything's going to go. They'll focus mostly on the police. Some of police, you'll see how our brothers felt back in the old days when we got harassed and chased. You see how it's going to feel. Because these demos they need somebody, they need some flesh to burn. Just like how they did all those hangings back in those racial days. Well, we're going to see a lot of hangings in January or so. So don't be surprised if you have a shortage of police in different cities. Watch, all these draconian measures are going to be enacted. Watch. And they're going to really probably go into like the smaller towns, and they're just going to go hog wild and just crush. That'll be number one. So they'll be focusing on police form. Number 2, sexual identity, sexual transfer, sexual neutrality. If you're a male, you may not be a male anymore. If you're a female, you may not be a female, because they're going to change all that too. I don't know. Everyone's going to be, I don't know what you are when you're going to be a man once Camilla and Biden get out. I guess you're just a human. Maybe human is negative. Maybe being a human is negative. So watch for them to change that around too. So we already have them going after police. That's understood. Number 2, the sexual transfer, sexual identity. Number 3, I think you'll see a lowering of the some type of thing related to sex is going to be legal now. Maybe prostitution. Don't be surprised. It's got to be a social agenda, because you can't create any more jobs at COVID. And even before COVID, we were having a slowdown, and you'd have so many business owners who really don't know how to run their business. And you're going to have a lot of the older people retiring. And the problem is, coming after the people that are retiring, you have, I'm in Redlands, California. We have a bunch of warehouses. You have the kids who are 18 and 19 who would be in college, who are working, and all they're making is 15 an hour times 60, which is less than 3,000 a month after taxes, 19 something. Half of them have cars, so that's another 5. So now they're left with about $1,000 of disposable income. 18, 19 living at home. What are they going to do for the economy? What stock are they going to put? And whatever extra money they have is going to their place if they decide to be independent, or if the parents are smart, make them pay. So that you look for people who are 18 to 30. If you have a majority of them working in warehouses, they only have $500 of disposable income. What kind of stock? I mean, so unless you find something related to food, transportation, or lodging, I mean, your business is in trouble, man. So you're going to have to try to find a way to get that money from them until they can start moving their way into more white-collar jobs for the people retiring. So I don't see how a warehouse job is going to stimulate an economy, especially when half their income is going to their car. I mean, I was in a Wiener Schnitzel yesterday. These kids have these fancy cars, and then they don't know how to order at the drive-thru. They're at the drive-thru for like 5 and 10 minutes. Bro. Well, I don't know if it was a brother ahead of me. Maybe it was. There's been brothers too. But I was like, it's a hot dog plate. It's hot dog, chili dog, hamburger. They ain't much there yet, man. Does it really take you 5 minutes to order? They're looking. I'm like, $2.19, $2.29, $3.59. I mean, I don't know what they be buying. I see Lexuses, Audis, and they looking at the sign. I mean, what the hell are you looking at, man? It's a fucking drive-through. That's this kind of generation we have, man. Fancy cars, but they can't even order from no fucking... Look at the... You want a drive-through, bro? What you gonna order? You think I gonna be you steak and lobster? Come on, man. I call it the drive-through generation. They're learning how to read. They can't read because they're doing online training for high school and college. So I guess they're trying to read the drive-through. Hey, those are big letters. Let me see. Chili cheese hamburger. So I guess they're trying to get the education there. Ah, man, it's going to be crazy. So if things get better, what are some things you can do to make things better for you? Because a kid behind you, a kid waiting through a drive-through is not going to help you. So some things I need you to do. Number one, just learn how to sell, man. Work on your sales skills. Once a lot of these businesses open up, they're going to want people to come in. People like me who are older, hey, we need these older people to come in. So that's going to be your new market you're going to have to cater to, for example. And then I told you like how I'm developing a blackjack retirement fund for gambling. So that's something to help you out with. But learn how to sell. Number two, just watch what you're spending your money on, man. Especially after Camilla and Biden get in office, man. You know, they're going to be taxing everything. And then for you homeowners, the people who have rental property and homeowners, just make sure, hey, whatever tenants you've been in, hey, if you can, try to get 2 or 3 months of advance payments if you can, man. Because you're going to have to, like, get the money. Because if you leave it up to Biden and these guys, they'll let them stay there for free, man. Like, that's what I hate under Trump, which is going to kill a lot of the people who had, like, rental property, is that they... Oh, just stay here because of COVID. You don't need to pay your rent. What do you mean I don't need to pay my rent, man? So there's, you know, some people, you know, I know I had a duplexes, so I know people take advantage of this kind of stuff, man. So that's why I'm saying go out there, work on your sales skills. And when you're not working on your sales skill, watch what you're spending your money on, man. Because your money's going, because you're going to be able to take, that money you have, I want you to take the money you have and reinvest it and the things to help you get some cash flow. Remember, don't use cash to buy trash. That's my new rap thing for today. And also, for some of you who have these expensive cars, do your best to at least, if you don't want to have training programs for $25, $125, $200, hey, take one of those programs. I'll have a little landing page for you to sign up. Hey, if I could just help you reduce the number of car payments you have from 40, say from 60 months to 41 months. Right now I have 20 months paid on my 2014 Camry. I owe about an extra $7,000. I'm paying $400 a month. So I'm looking at paying off my car in about 40 to 41 months. Even if I don't get any, even if I pay the full value of the car, just think having those extra 9 months of no payment. I can redirect $400, $500, $100. I can redirect that money into something else. That's why I want you to pay off the car loan. So you can free up that money that you're paying for that car, give you some extra money for repairs, give you some extra money for maintenance. But also, hey, just have you take that money, hey, just have an extra, instead of you have an extra 19 months of $500, $600, $700 in your pocket. What would that be worth to you? Get it all covered. That's almost $10,000 extra. Would you pay $250? Would you pay $3,000 to save yourself, hey, 19 months worth of payments at a certain amount of money? So that's what I want you to look into right now. Also, I have what I call my blackjack retirement programs for some of you who are in your 50s and about to retire. I'm 52. I've had money in accounts for over 16 years. Now, because of COVID, there probably were about, before COVID, they're probably about 200, 250. Now, because of COVID, maybe I'm lucky if it's 100, 150, 160. And then I'm just going to cash out, man. I ain't going to even do that. I'm doing like my grandmother, just cash out. Unfortunately, I got to put it in the bank. For example, in the old days, I did a little sheet. I want to show you guys something here real quick. Do I have that little sheet? In the old days, when the interest was about 10 period, interest in the old days, interest is about 10%. So say if you had $10,000 at 10%, that's $1,000. You would put $10,000 in a saving account, leave it in there a year. At the end of the year, you'd have $1,000. Hey, that's about a rent payment. Now, if I take that same $10,000 now at 1% interest, it's only $100. Basically, a Friday night versus $1,000, which is rent. So that's what has happened to my retirement. And because there's nothing pushing up the stocks, because a lot of the stocks are in these accounts. Just think of stock as being a pretty girl, prettier than me. Who would you go out with? You'd pay $5 maybe to go out with me, but you'll pay $25 to go out with that attractive girl. That's how stock works. When the stock's high, my retirement is higher, and then if I can cash it out, or I can leave it in there for benefits or something, then that's more money. Now when it drops, then that just changes the whole dynamics. If I were to retire now, I'd cash out $150, if that. Not sure, maybe $150, $200. Because the problem with leaving it in as a pension is if the state goes bankrupt, you lose your pension, and the pension gets reduced by 50%. Especially in this COVID environment, you have 38,000 people laid off from Disney. Another 300 people were laid off from a company in Orange County because they're pissed at the state of California for shutting them down. So, am I better taking my money, put it in the bank at 1%, even at 100, I just put like a whole $100,000 in the bank. I think at 1%, I think it came out to $1,000. Hey, better than nothing. Better than having it be zero. See what I'm saying? That's the problem with retirement. That's why I said, hey, you may consider gambling to make extra money. That's why I'm doing my black gambling retirement fund, where I'm gonna go to Vegas. I'm gonna take $500 to Vegas, and the goal is to win $50. Because if I don't put that same $500 in the savings account, I only get $5 back. So basically, I'm gonna get 10 years worth of savings and in a couple of hour session. But all your money's at risk now, and you'll look at that, you'll figure it out. If everything is zero, what happens if things are zero? If I put something, hey man, I might as well just go buy this, I may just go buy that. It's another way to maybe keep the economy going, but in the long run, it's a detriment to everyone. So don't look for things to change. Look for things to get a little bit worse. The only thing that's going to improve under maybe Biden and Camilla is the social things. That's the only thing they're going to feed the people. feed the base. So the base realize, hey, cops suing cops, letting people fuck each other, lowering the age for people to fuck, letting people marry their dogs, that doesn't put food on my table. And until that happens, then people will realize, hey, we don't care about any of that social stuff. Where's my money? Who's got my money? Because they ain't going to be giving them no more checks. Those checks are done. As soon as Uncle Trump is out of office, your check's going to stop. They've been arguing over checks now. They ain't coming. That thing is dead. This DOA, dead on arrival. And it's going to be dead starting in January because there's going to be a whole bunch of Republican senators in the House that Senate say, we don't think so. So subscribe to my channel. Subscribe, comment, like. Subscribe, comment, like. Your blackjack tick. If you're facing you have a hand of a 13 facing a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stand. Otherwise hit. Look for those social things I'm going to talk to you about. If you want to pay off your car loan faster, have a $25, $125, $200 programs for you. Sign up for this crowd room. Subscribe, comment, like. Subscribe, comment, like. What do you think? If you're 50 or if you're under 50 and thinking about retiring, what's your strategy for your money? Do you think I'm crazy saying maybe gambling is a way for you to make extra money? Subscribe today.